Hello there. Better late than never. I'll explain in a minute. But yes, it's Sunday, and let's take it away. Hello everyone. Sorry to keep you waiting. Yes, sometimes in life there are things that are just unavoidable and have to be done. So it delayed the start of tonight's show by 30 minutes. Sorry to keep you waiting. I do apologize, and I'll try not to let it happen again. Yes, as I say, sorry about that. Thanks very much for joining me live and bearing with us. And I see there's a lot of people in the chat. And I saw Anne Y isn't very well. So best wishes to Anne Y and for a speedy recovery. Chris says, no worries, Steve. Things happen. Yes, they do. They do is right. And as I say, it was unavoidable. I didn't find out until a day or two ago. So I sort of started putting out the banners saying that it would be 7:30 start. And instead it's the top of the hour, which is 8 o'clock my time, and 2 o'clock Memphis time. As you can see, it's just gone 2 o'clock in Memphis. Look at this for a photograph behind me. Absolutely fabulous, isn't it? And of course, this is coming up very, very soon. Reinventing Elvis, the 68 comeback special, a new documentary with Steve Binder. Pretty soon now, I believe. And I'd also like to remind you about the Circle G Foundation will be sending a floral tribute to Graceland for Elvis Week 2023. If you would like to contribute, please send your donation via PayPal, and then you'll see the email address there. If you don't use PayPal, email at thecirclegfoundation@gmail.com, and they will help you out. I just wanted to say that and mention that on the show, because Leslie Pilling, we all know Leslie is a great ambassador for Elvis Presley and his memory and his legacy. And so, yeah, if you want to contribute to the Circle G Foundation floral tribute, and it also says a small floral tribute for Lisa Marie as well. So that's a nice thing to contribute to. So thanks, Leslie, for doing that. And it's a pleasure to mention that as well. So what have we got? We've got a live poll coming up. We've got a song I wish Elvis had recorded. And this is one from the audience, suggested by April. Please remember to send in those I wish Elvis had recorded. And I'll file them in my new folder I have for songs I wish Elvis had recorded, and I'll use them one by one in the shows. We've got Caption This Photo. A lot of fun with this one we had. This one is from Love Me Tender. Smoking Hot Photo. Wow, wait till you see this one. A YouTube channel I recommend. I'm going to recommend a YouTube channel later on for you. This Day in Elvis History, of course. A topic coming up. You saw the thumbnail at the start of the show, I hope, and it's all about another of Elvis's 1950s recording sessions, and there's a story that goes with it and so forth, and I'll be asking you a question on the poll about that topic. You can, of course, call me free later on WhatsApp, Instagram and Facebook Messenger. I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody that sent me kind messages, emails, etc. for support of the show. And as I say, I love to welcome you all here. It's a drama-free zone. We just get on with it and we honor Elvis's legacy and his memory, and we try and keep it going as much as we can. And if all the other channels there's great channels around which do exactly the same as what this channel is trying to do, but there's also, unfortunately, some channels which have got a little bit testy, and they're sort of squabbling amongst themselves at the moment, which is not a good thing. And I'm sure Elvis wouldn't want us to be squabbling and arguing about things. We should really just be promoting Elvis, and that's all I have to say about that. That's what Forrest Gump would have said anyway. Now, yes, Fan of the Month quiz is, as I said, I've got a frog in my throat. As I said last week, I'm not going to do one theme. It's a general knowledge one again. I've mixed it up. So I see there's a backwards Elvis in there. There's a mystery voice. There's a general knowledge question. There's some mystery co-stars as well, which we have a lot of fun with. So we're going to do that. And I see that Arkansas Dave is in the building moderating. Chris R. Yes, thanks, Chris, for helping me out as well. I'm not sure if Maxine arrived. Hopefully Maxine can arrive later on and help us out. She could be busy, especially as it's a later start this week. 30 minutes later. Don't let it happen again, Steve. I'll try not to. Right, so here we go. The first question of 6, general knowledge, is, oh, I love this. I can use one of my jingles. Backwards Elvis. Elvis backwards. Does anybody know who that guy is? Kirsty Marie says, oh, you've just started. Yes, Kirsty, we are 30 minutes later this week. Just for this week only, I hope. Kirsty says, I thought I'd missed half an hour. No, you haven't. You're right at the very, very start. So, backwards Elvis. Here's the first one. And don't forget, it puts you within a chance of being fan of the month and also fan of the year next month, because everybody that got a question right is going to go in the hat. You have to be the first person to get it right, of course. Goes in the hat, pull a name out, and you are fan of the year. And Helen Murray won a Speedway jacket last August. Here we go. Backwards Elvis. Question number 1. Here it comes. I got on with voice for people know how I'm no No Miss Fish in there tonight. We were having a good laugh last week. We were saying that it sounded like Roustabout was backwards. It was backwards Elvis, and it sounded like Elvis sang Miss Fish at one point. Okay, I see a few people are saying One Night. I Got Stung. Baby You're So Square. Okay, but it is I Beg of You. That's what it is. It's I Beg of You backwards, and it says Jack got it. So it looks like it's Jack Mullins, is it? Okay, Jack, you get this.
Did 29 pictures like that, baby.
That's my new jingle as well. Okay, Jack. Well done. The next one, I get to use another jingle. Elvis sounds good backwards too. Yeah, he does, Vincenzo. He sounds good anyway. Dylan says his brain's not working today. Well, see if you can work on this one. This is the mystery voice. Okay, so we've had a backwards Elvis. Now we're going to have a mystery voice. Who is this?
What was it like to work with Elvis Presley?
Wow.
It was absolutely fabulous. It was an extraordinary experience. I hadn't been a huge, gigantic, screaming Elvis Presley fan. I liked him and I liked a lot of his records, but at that point in my life, who I was in love with was Jimmy Stewart.
Okay. A lot of people saying Anne Margaret. Marlon Mason, who I had the pleasure of speaking to on this channel. Marianne Mobley? Okay. I do see a couple of right answers. And it was. Yes. No, Dave says you got them, Steve. I haven't, because as far as I can see, Leo123 says Shelley Fabaret, and that is who it was. Yeah. Anway says Michelle Carey. No. Yeah, so Leo123. Leo, are you new? I'm not too sure whether Cynthia Pepper, actually. I also had the pleasure of speaking to Cynthia Pepper on this channel as well. If you haven't heard any of my interviews, there's a playlist on this show and on this channel, and it gives you all those interviews. Right, so Leo, well done, Leo. I'm just going to put Leo123, and I'm going to give you this, Leo.
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
Shelley Fabaret was his favourite co-star, Steve. Probably was. After Anne, of course. He liked them all. I think he liked them all, though. But I know what you mean. Shelley was one of his favourites. Yes. Relatively new. Well, welcome, Leo. And as I say, if you do want to check out those playlists, you can do that. And it basically, all you have to do, really, is you have to... oh, well, you know, you just go to my homepage and you click on the playlists and they're all there for you. I'll show you how to do that later if you're not sure. Okay, right. We've got a general knowledge question next. And this is a fairly easy one, I think. Most people will know this. What time on January the 8th, 1935 was Elvis born? Officially accepted time, okay? What time on January the 8th, 1935 was Elvis born? Okay. Yeah, I see a lot of those. And as far as I could tell, it was Elvis Austin was very, very quick off the mark. Although Juan says 9:35, that could be a typo. But John says 7 a.m. Okay. I believe it's Elvis Austin anyway. Elvis Austin. And you get this, Elvis Austin.
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
And yeah, just to prove, we're all familiar with this as well, which is this, which is at the bottom there, the circle. On page 920 of Dr. Robert Hunt's birth book, you've got 4:35 a.m. Okay, and child number 2, of course, because Jesse Garn was born first. And I've also indicated there with the red arrow, Elvis Aaron Presley. Noel. Now, I'm wondering whether that is the way that Vernon pronounced Elvis's name. It's kind of Elvis, you know, that's the way he used to say it. He didn't really say Elvis. He used to say Elvis. So maybe that's why Dr. Robert Hunt put E-V-I-S. And oh, look, A-A-R-O-N. Aha. Yes. What do you think of that? Double A. I'll say no more. And yeah, on the preceding page, 919, we've got Jesse, born at 4 a.m., 35 minutes earlier. And also a misspelling. We've got Jesse Garrion. There's definitely an I with a dot over it there where I've put the red arrow. So, yeah, strange one. Elvis and Garrion. Of course, with all that was going on, I mean, they didn't even realize they were having twins, or the doctor didn't. Maybe Vernon and Gladys did. I'm not too sure. Nobody knows. Unfortunately, there's a 0 above the 4 a.m., which means that he was still born. It says number of children living to this mother, 0. So that was quite sad. Maybe the doctor couldn't spell. Yeah. Although that being said, the spelling on the rest of the pages look okay. It's just the names, Garion and Elvis. I think it could have been the way that Vernon was talking. Must have been awful to lose a child. Yes, I do agree. Rest in heavenly peace, both of them. Yes. No ultrasound back then. They didn't know. Okay, fair enough. Garion. Yeah, Rebel Vegan says Garion. And Mary Elvis says Evis. Yeah, so that's question number 3. So we've got Jack Mullins, Leo123, and Elvis Austin. Oh, now look what I've got now. I haven't got a jingle for these mystery co-stars. I must get a jingle for the mystery co-star. I'd have a jingle for everything then, wouldn't I? Right, I'm going to show you a picture, and you're going to tell me who the co-star is. But it's not that easy because I blanked out their face. Who is this? Give me the name of that co-star, please. Helene says, we love your jingle party, Steve. No, it's not Anne Margaret. Raquel Welch. Oh, I can see where you're coming from. Yes. Raquel Welch. Okay. All right. Somebody has got it right. And I am going to say Anne Y. Well done, Anne Y. You get this. It is...
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
This young lady, Jocelyn Lane. And as you probably know, Jocelyn came out top of my list of favorite Elvis co-stars. A lot of people, sorry, this is a smoking hot photo. Yeah, for the lads it is, yeah. A lot of people expected me to say Anne Margaret, but I didn't. I said Jocelyn Lane. And there she is in all her glory. And Anne Y. Did I give you this, Anne Y?
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
You've definitely got it now, anyway. And I hope you're feeling. Better soon. Now, let's clear that off. Co-star, mystery co-star number 2. Who is this? She does look a lot like Raquel Welch. She certainly does. Let's have a look at that again. She doesn't look like Raquel Welch like that. Yeah, she does. She looks a lot like Raquel. Yeah. Right. Sorry about that. I got waylaid. Mystery co-star number 2. And I'm going to take an opportunity to have a drink. I see a few people have got it right, although somebody has got the surname wrong. Okay. Right, so Dave is saying Brian got it, but I just want to double check there. Let's see. Somebody said Kurt Russell. Do you know, I have got on my screen Hugh McKenna. Oh no, hang on. He's saying Kurt Russell. I beg your pardon. I have got Jack Mullins on my screen. Yeah, I have got Jack, and you've got Brian. Yeah, Brian comes just after Helene from Paris. So Jack, it's you that got Will Hutchins, and to prove it, this is the photograph. There you are.
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
Jack Mullins. Jack Mullins with his second right answer tonight. Well done, Jack. Already. And now we have mystery co-star number 3. Here we are. I'd say a lot of folks is going to get this. A lot of folks. Yes, Jocelyn Lane is still living. Yeah. You can find her on the web. And pictures of what she looks like today. Okay. Unfortunately, Brian, that is a spelling mistake. A spelling mistake. So, a lot of people are getting Ursula Andress. And I think that the person that has got it right first and the correct spelling, again, wow, is Jack by the looks of it. A lot of people have got it right. Some people are saying Ursula Andrews. Arkansas Dave, who is, it was my screen froze. Okay. So I'm going to give that to Jack again, because backtracking, I believe that Jack was the first person to get it right, the spelling right. Raquel Welsh. Brian spelt it wrong. Austin spelt it wrong, unfortunately. Yeah, Jack is the first person to spell it correctly. So, Jack, you're on fire.
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
I'll be running out of things to send Jack soon if he keeps winning every week. Right. So, thanks very much for taking part. And of course, Hugh got it, Steve, before Jack. Well, I'm just looking now and I see Jack before Hugh, because Hugh didn't spell it right, unfortunately. Hugh. Oh, it looks like I have made a mistake, actually. I beg your pardon. I do beg your pardon. Yes, that's my mistake. Yeah, it's because I'm getting tired, you see, because it's later. So I'm Jack. I'm taking that off you. I'm sorry. It is Hugh McKenna. Well done, Hugh. Right. So you get this, Hugh.
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
And do forgive me, Jack. Do forgive me. Right. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave, for pulling me up on that. And all's good, Steve. Fair is fair. Thanks, Jack. Yeah. Oh, and just to prove it, that is Ursula Andress. There's the picture that I used before I edited it. So yes. So that was quite a good one. There was no sort of one that swept the board. Okay, Jack got 2, but apart from that, there was Hugh. Well done, Hugh. And why? Elvis Austin, Leo123. Welcome to the channel, Leo123. Now, this is what we're doing. We're doing what's coming up is Elvis history, Photoshop. I wish Elvis had recorded, captioned this photo, smoking hot photo. There's still a lot to come up, but we are doing the topic next already. And I'll just get the topic box up and the text in it. Why was this recording session considered a failure? And this is the recording session I am talking about. It's April 1956. Variety reported that Elvis's 6th RCA single, Heartbreak Hotel, had sold 1 million copies. RCA's producer Steve Scholes wanted a strong single for the next release, aware that there was not much good material available. Due to Elvis's busy touring schedules, Scholes needed to get him into the studio as soon as possible. Elvis, Scotty, Bill, DJ chartered a small propeller plane from Amarillo to Nashville for 1 day of recording between shows. Now, this is basically the recording sessions. Okay. The chartered flight at a cost of $1,000. Now, that might not sound like a lot now, but $1,000 in 1956 was an awful lot. That Elvis and the band take to Nashville for a 1 day recording session set up at the last minute by Steve Scholes is plagued by problems. First, the pilot loses his way and has to land in El Dorado, Arkansas, to refuel. Then one of the engines cuts out because the plane has not been switched over to its full tank. Man, I don't know if I'll ever fly again, announced Elvis when he arrived in Nashville. Upon arrival in Nashville on the morning of April the 14th, all four were shaken. He arrived at the RCA McGorvack Street studio without any ideas for the recording session, and therefore had no choice but to use Scholz's suggestion, one of which was, I want you, I need you, I love you. Now, on arriving at the studio, Steve Scholz presented Elvis with a gold record for Heartbreak Hotel. With the success of that single, Nashville suddenly became the center, and publishers, record companies, songwriters, pop and rock musicians from all over began to flock to Nashville. Being used to working later hours, coupled with his traumatic experience during his overnight flight, the recording session was strained. I'm not surprised. Okay. Take after take was ruined for one reason or another, and the band was not relaxed. Elvis, usually a very quick study with a song, could not get the lyrics right after 17 takes in 3 hours. Yeah, now, there's not many full takes available because they were breaking down. One take that was first released on one of the legendary Performer albums actually has Elvis making a mess of the title, and he sings what does he sing? Instead of singing I want you, I need you, I love you, he sings I want you, I love you, I need you. So you can tell just by that he still, and the band is still very sort of jittery after their hairy flight. Scholz decided Elvis and the band were not able to record properly and sent them home. So and I've also got actually a photograph of Elvis outside the McGorvack studio signing autographs before he gets into a cab. That's a great shot, that. After the session, Elvis and the band took a flight back to Memphis to show his mother and father his first gold record. And there's some photographs. Okay. In the evening, Elvis stopped by Drewy Phillips' radio show at the Hotel Chiska. Then, bright and early the next day, Elvis, Gene Smith and the band flew to San Antonio, Texas, where Elvis performed at the Municipal Auditorium at 3 and 8 p.m. And we have those as well. Look at these for shots. This is San Antonio. There's Kay Wheeler, who I think was president of the first Elvis Presley fan club. Am I right? Actually, I forgot to show you the day before he left for Nashville, he appeared in Amarillo, and there is some photographs here, and these are great photographs as well, taken on the 13th. Look at that for a shot from behind the stage. There he is with a lucky lady. These are in Amarillo, the day before the recording session. Oh ho ho! Yes. Okay. High School Auditorium, Wednesday, April the 13th. Amarillo. Right. So, after the session, Scholz listened to the takes again. He was not happy with the results of what he considered to be an unprofessional and wasted session. At a cost of $1,000 to fly Elvis and his band on a private flight, Scholz let Tom Parker know that he was unsatisfied with the work and required material urgently for a second album. He knew that with Elvis's busy touring schedule, it would be months before RCA got him back into the studio again. And it was actually July the 2nd, wasn't it? The night after the Steve Allen show, which I covered again as well a couple of weeks ago, was this Elvis's most legendary recording session. So he didn't get him back into the recording studio until July. Okay. Performing what was a very rare and generally unsuccessful procedure for the 1950s, Scholes took parts of 2 takes he liked, takes 14 and 17, cut and spliced them together to create a take worthy of release. His cuts were so seamless, nobody at RCA Victor could tell it was not from a single take. Can you? All right. Next time you listen to I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, remember that it's a spliced take of 14 and 17, and see if you can spot the cuts. The reception of I Want You, I Need You, I Love You was backed with My Baby Left Me and was released on May the 4th, 1956. Pre-orders of over 300,000 were the biggest ever in the history of the company. At the time of its release, Elvis had these songs in the top 20. Heartbreak Hotel, back with I Was the One, My Baby Left Me, and I Want You, I Need You, I Love You. On June the 5th, 1956, Elvis performed the song on the Milton Berle Show, as well as an early version of Hound Dog that resulted in both overwhelmingly favourable audience reaction and outrage. Despite the heated public controversy, the single was generally well received, reaching number 3 on the Billboard Top 100 chart and scoring number 1 on the country music chart. The song earned a second gold record for Elvis with sales in excess of 1.3 million. Now, to me, that doesn't sound like a failure. What do you think? I don't think it sounds like a failure at all. And under the circumstances as well of what Elvis and the boys had to go through the previous night flying to Nashville. So, yeah, that's quite remarkable. Quite remarkable, that. I would just draw your attention to the bottom right-hand corner. Subscribe and click the bell and make it black, because the more subscribers we have, the more people watch these videos, hopefully, and the more that we get to promote Elvis's legacy and memory. And don't forget to give the old thumbs up as well. And well done. I forgot to tell you. I meant to tell you at the start of the show. Well done, people. You got me over 300 likes last week on last week's video. So well done. Thank you very, very much. Give a clicks up, give a thumbs up, and try and get over 300 likes. So, yeah. So, I'm going to open the phone lines if you do want to call and tell me what you think about the failure that was that recording session. Personally, I don't think it was. I think under the circumstances, the fact that it sold 1.3 million. Hello?
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Dylan, what have you got to tell me?
I don't know how they can say that that's a failure when it sold like 300,000
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
I think maybe they're saying I think maybe they're saying it was a failure because he only recorded one song, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, or maybe it's failure in comparison to what Heartbreak did.
Maybe, but I mean,
because Heartbreak did what, like 1 million or so.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Steve Scholes was calling it a failure even before Elvis had left for Memphis. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Elvis is the king of proving people wrong.
Yeah, of course he is. Now, see,
like, he goes in there and records something that isn't a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Records something that's actually a hit.
Yeah. Now, of course, in April of 1956, they were still unsure about the signing of Elvis. They even thought at one point that they'd signed the wrong person. They thought they should have signed Carl Perkins. But of course, yeah, I know. This recording and then the one they did on the 2nd of July, Hound Dog and Don't Be Cruel finally clinched the deal that no, they hadn't signed the wrong person. They did the right signing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like F1 has like a bit of a doggy day sometimes, don't they?
Mm.
So, but I mean, especially like since he'd had that like plane ride,
Yeah.
it is gonna get to your head a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, like he still went in and did a good job, I think.
Yeah, I do under the circumstances. Actually, I'm gonna do the poll in a minute, and you can vote on that. But you know, to even just record one song and it be a million seller after going through what they did was pretty good.
Well, yeah, and then I just wanted to just like, well, not point out, but I wanted to like just like say something real quick.
Yeah.
I was because 70s is like my favorite like part of Elvis' career,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was watching some 70s footage,
Okay.
and it's like crazy like how many songs from the 50s like he kept doing in the 70s.
I think
Because,
I
like,
think he
when you
thought
think about
I think he thought it was expected of him to do the 50s
right.
medley.
I mean, this is true, but like, when you think about it, like from the time it came out, like Hound Dog, from the time Hound Dog came out to the time of his last show, there wasn't a show where he didn't do it, which proves how popular the song was.
Mm-hmm. I think did he never stop doing it, or did he miss a few shows?
I don't think there was a show between 56 and 77 that he didn't do it.
Crikey.
I don't think.
Crikey.
In like some form or another, because like sometimes it'd be in the in that big rock medley,
Yeah,
and then sometimes it'd be like on its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was. I don't think he never missed.
Maybe he liked singing it. He liked because he knew it sent the fans wild, and he he did that little bit of a dance at the end, didn't he? So
yeah, no, see, and that's another thing too, right? Because like you know how like Elvis like Elvis was like, oh, like I didn't know that like my moving was like making like the girls go crazy.
Yeah.
I think like as time went on, Elvis wasn't daft, right? He knew that he could literally move his toe, and the crowd would go like mental for him.
Yeah.
So and this, and by like I'd say like I'm really sorry for dragging on, but like you've just made me think of something.
Yeah.
When you watch Aloha from Hawaii and watch Fever, yeah.
Yeah.
He is eating it up because he knows that every move is making the crowd go mental.
Yeah.
So it's like he knows how much to give.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no! I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, I'm just doing I'm just doing the little finger now on the camera because we know he was playing with them as well, wasn't he? On the '68 special, saying all he could do was move his little finger in Florida.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Because like people say he didn't know what he was doing. He did.
Oh, he did.
But it's good. He did. He knew.
Yeah.
And you did make it go crazy.
Okay, well, stand by for the poll. I'm sure you'll like to. I'm sure you'd like to vote on it.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Yes. So here we go. We're going to do the poll, and it very, very simply is: was it unfair of RCA to go ahead with the session after the band's flight scare to Nashville? And it's basically, yes, it was unfair. No, business is business, or Elvis wouldn't let people down. So there you go. You can be voting away on that. Hello there.
It's me, Vincenzo.
Hey, how are you?
Not bad. I'm doing good.
So tell me, what do you think about this recording session and there being a flight scare on the way?
Yeah, I know, but actually, I think "I Want You, I Need You, I Love You" is a pretty good song, actually.
It certainly is. Sold 1.3 million on release.
Yeah.
And it was to date his biggest song as well. So he didn't do too bad, did he?
I don't think it's a bad song.
But I mean, do you think that the RCA were unfair to let the session go ahead?
Yeah, I think they were, because after that thing that happened with the flight, I think they should have canceled the session.
Yeah. 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 So you'd vote yes, it was unfair, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Always good to hear from you, Vincenzo.
Okay, it was nice talking to you, Steve.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Here we go. Hello.
Hello, Steve. It's Mark. How you
Hey,
doing?
Mark. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah.
What do you think of this topic?
Oh, rubbish.
I love it.
Yeah, a lot of rubbish. Yeah, no, of course. No, well, it's just one of them, innit? But it just the proof in the pudding was the next single, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, and I must admit, some of the photographs taken that day are some of my favourite session photographs as well.
Yeah, some great shots from the 56. Yeah. It's just you can understand why he was probably a little bit not on the game and on the ball for what happens and stuff. But, you couldn't compare him and say to Carl Perkins, could you really? I suppose.
No, no, but there was an element of doubt between sort of January and July. Have we done the right thing signing this fella from Sun?
Course, yeah, but as well, Elvis, you're saying it. I just got to get the motor running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the motor was running, a Hound Dog and Dobie Crawl was there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's some great sessions. He did just some great sessions in there. The 56 stuff.
How are you going to vote on this poll? Was it unfair, or no business is business, or Elvis wouldn't let people down?
Oh, it's a hard one. It's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't decided yet.
Oh, okay, I put you on the spot, haven't I?
Yeah, on the spot on that one. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of a topic you could do as well, which might be better, of songs of Elvis that should have been number one, but weren't. Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. Well, no, you can say all of them, but there's certain ones when you think, how on earth did that not get to number one? One song which springs to mind straight away would be "If I Can Dream."
Yeah, I know.
How on earth that never got to number one, I'll never know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but there's a few more, but obviously it'd be nice to look into them, wouldn't it, and delve wide.
Yeah.
His record catalogue being so big, so
that's a good topic. That is, yeah.
And what do you think of this new stuff coming out of the '68?
Yeah, they're reinventing Elvis. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Now, I think is it going to be in theatres as well as on streaming?
Well, I think so. Well, I've seen little bits advertised. I haven't seen it by me, like in Birmingham way yet, but I'm not sure if it is. I'll go and see it, but I haven't. Does it run for about an hour and a half or something?
I'd say probably an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose it's stuff we've seen before, but it'd be nicely put together, I suppose, wouldn't it?
And normally anything with Steve Binder in is good.
Yeah. Well, he comes to the point across, doesn't he? So, he tells the truth, and obviously the things with the Colonel himself, he had a few ups and downs with him, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be interesting to see, and it's a good little bounce off the film, isn't it? Because I think the '68 segment in the film really attracted a lot, didn't it?
It was definitely one of the highlights of the film.
Yeah,
it was so well done.
Yeah, it was well done, and and I think that just kind of sets that scene of If I Can Dream and everything else. Yeah, it was great, a great segment for that one. Yeah. So,
Alrighty.
Great. All right. Cheers.
Thanks for calling, Mark.
Bye. Take care.
Bye. So Mark can't decide yet on was it unfair of RCA to go ahead with the session after the band's flight scare to Nashville. Me personally, I probably wouldn't even be able to stand up straight at a microphone to record if something like that had happened, because I'm pretty sure that it was a scary thing when the engines cut out, and it was probably rectified fairly quickly. They hadn't turned over to the full engine or the full tank, but scary. Hello?
Hello, Steve.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Leslie.
Hello, Leslie. Long time no speak.
Hello. I know I've been shuffling about on the live chat tonight, but there you go.
And we're later tonight as well because I was delayed
I know,
by half
that's
an
why
hour.
I could catch you.
Yeah,
That's why I could catch you tonight, you see.
I'm wondering whether I should move it, to 8 o'clock from now on. I don't know. I might.
I don't know. It depends what suits everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
The majority,
Yeah, exactly.
it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to pop on and say thank you for giving a shout out to the Circle G Foundation floral donations.
No problem.
Thread.
Yes.
We're doing well, but we only close donations a week today. So
right.
Anybody that wants to contribute.
So we've got one more week left, yes?
One more week left.
Right.
The reason I'm doing that, I'll explain, is we've got to choose the display. I've got to get the graphic and list of donors together and get that over to the florists in Memphis.
Right.
I'm not letting them do it this time because there's been a couple of mistakes made in the past. So I want to do it and get it to them.
Right.
That's the reason we're closing.
And you see, the thing is it's nearer than you think. I mean, it's less than a month now.
It is. It is. And I mean, it'll only give me a couple of weeks to get it sorted and across to them. And we've got 2 displays to choose. We've got the one for Elvis and the one for Lisa Marie. And anything that's left, any money that's left after that, we're going to donate to the Elvis Presley Charitable Foundation.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
It'll all go to a good cause if we've got money left, which I think we will have because we're doing okay.
Very good.
But something else I just did want to mention very quickly.
Yes, by all means.
Do forgive me for taking your time.
No.
Starting Friday at midnight until Saturday midnight, Brent on the Elvis Nation channel is doing a 24-hour marathon.
Oh, wow.
Of content. And he's doing it really to raise awareness of the Circle G Foundation, etc. But there's going to be some really good things on there. There's reruns of some content you've seen and some new content as well.
Right.
So I urge anybody that can pop on for an hour or so over the 24 hours to do so and join the chats and join in the fun.
So that's Elvis Nation. And give us the times again.
Yeah. It starts midnight on Friday.
Okay.
This Friday. And it goes to midnight on the Saturday.
He must have some stamina.
Well, I think it's been pre-recorded. We're all jumping in on the chat in relays.
Oh, yes, so, right, very good. Yeah, because I mean, me doing an hour and a half here, it just wipes me out. So 24 hours, wow.
But I mean, it's an awful lot of work to get the content together for that.
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing a brilliant job at that. So I fired a few things across to him this afternoon. So
very good.
There's some stuff on there that people won't have seen. So
please, I'll urge people as well. Elvis Nation next Friday at midnight. It starts for 24 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me,
he's doing it that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's doing it that way because of all the different time zones.
For
people, so everybody gets a chance.
And tell me this: how's the new book doing? Take My Hand. Is that the latest book? Isn't it?
Well, it's sold out now.
Oh.
So
it's doing very good then.
I've got to organise another print run. Everybody's been very, very kind, very, very generous with their comments. I've been very pleased with it.
But you're going to get another printing, so anybody that hasn't had chance to get it yet, yeah?
Yeah, there will be a chance for them. They just got to give me a chance to get it sorted and get it organised.
And have you got another book in the pipeline?
I've got one on the back burner. I've got an idea. Right. I've worked on a title for it.
Great.
There will be another one along.
So we've got to keep our eyes peeled for that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Right, Leslie, thanks very, very much. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. You're such a lovely lady. And as I say, if there's anything I can do for the Circle G, I will,
You're a star.
Thanks very
Steve.
much.
Thanks,
cheers,
everybody.
Leslie.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So one more week, if you do want to donate to the floral tribute from the Circle G Foundation, then please, as I say, I've got the information there again for you on the screen. And we have a caller. Hello, Priscilla.
Howdy doody, Steve.
How are you?
I feel very inferior coming on after Leslie and Mark.
Why?
And Vincenzo
Why?
and Dylan, because they all are so knowledgeable, and I mean, the work that Leslie does to keep Elvis to the forefront is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Circle G, of course, which
Yeah,
would
I
have
know.
been lost.
She's just, yeah. I mean, she's just great. And then her books are good as well.
Absolutely, and her the jumpsuit gifts. Oh my God, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've been dropping hints here, but I don't know if they've been picked up yet.
Tell me, how's the cough? Is it getting better?
It's mostly gone now. Yeah, thank God.
Brilliant.
I won't miss it, Steve. Now, it was tough going for a couple of weeks, so my heart is breaking for poor NY.
I know,
to
bless
think that
her.
she's going through that to Crater.
Yeah.
So sending you lots of good vibes, NY.
Yes. Hope she gets well soon.
So do I, because it is tough when you're sick, and she doesn't have it very easy. So, but the brightest hour of the week, or the hour and a half, is our time spent with all of our other Elvis buddies.
Yes, that's right. The Elvis
and
family.
You, Steve?
The Elvis family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, by the way, sorry I was late tonight.
You see, I don't think you're ever late, because there's no such thing as being late. You're here, babe.
Yeah.
It would be you'd have to apologise if you hadn't turned up.
Exactly.
But we can take the half-hour delay, and all that gave us was an extra half hour on the chat to be talking to each
of
other.
course, I saw that. Yeah, I could see the chat going well before I came in. Yeah.
So
good.
You're never late, Steve.
No.
There's no such thing as late.
Now, what do you think about this topic? Is that what you rang about?
It is. Well, now, first of all, I loved that montage of photos, some of which I'd never seen.
Yeah, I know.
Including the one of his loveliness from behind, which just was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You can actually see the movement in the still, which is mind-blowing, isn't it?
That was from, I think, Amarillo, wasn't it? The one I'm talking about, the one from behind.
Yeah, the concert. There
it is.
You can actually...
Yeah,
you can actually see the movement.
Yeah.
And it's a still photo.
Yeah.
Anyway, excellent photographer.
Yeah.
Excellent subject, of course.
Yeah.
And I said in the chat there, that boy's even good looking from behind.
Yeah. Any angle.
But tonight's topic and that recording and the word failure.
Yeah, I know.
I suppose the difference for us looking at that is we have the benefit of hindsight.
Of course,
At that point in time, they didn't. And as you had mentioned quite rightly, there was a little bit of, oh my God, we should have taken Carl Perkins. So they had a significant investment. I mean, okay, I know the flight was terribly scary for them. But $1,000 on a flight to get a man to a recording studio that didn't turn up. If we paid a guy €1,000 to plumb our bathroom and he didn't turn up, we'd be very unhappy. So I suppose it's we're looking back with the benefit of hindsight, and the rising the rising star that he became, or who Elvis became, fully fledged musical artist, human being, philanthropist. So we can't isolate that point in time where he wasn't known to people. Now, clearly he was.
I mean, he was still sort of relatively unknown outside of America come April. He was still sort of, building up to what he became.
And there was parts of America at that time where he wasn't allowed to be liked either, because there was still that whole, he's going to corrupt our whole generation. So I suppose that if we can get ourselves to the point where we don't know what's coming next, then I can understand dissatisfaction. The word failure now, I need very, very strong. And it would be a failure had that flight gone down and the session never happened.
Oh God, yeah. Can you imagine that? Oh,
do you know? And so many of them did. I mean, Buddy Holly.
The Big Bopper, Richie Valens. There was three of them knocked out just like that in one fell swoop.
On one flight. And then, what was the lady? Oh, Jesus. Don't come to me now.
Oh, Patsy Cline. Was it Patsy Cline?
There you go. Like, so many of them taken out.
Did Jim Reeves die in an aircraft accident as well? Or am I? Somebody will tell us in the chat. I might be just imagining it, but I think he did as well.
And it wouldn't fill you with confidence that pilot had taken a wrong turn, like.
Yeah.
Really? I'm not sure I'd get on even after he refueled.
And then forgetting to turn over to the new tank that they'd filled up as well, and the engine's cut out. Wow.
I'd say he got a lucky break license.
I'm surprised Elvis flew again, because he then flew to Memphis after the recording session, but he definitely knocked flying on the head for a while, didn't he? I think after that.
Well, he did. Sure, that's why they bought the bus, and really he thought, nah, I'm not doing that anymore. And then, of course, the absolute turnabout came when he bought the first Jetstar, and then the Lisa Marie, and then obviously it went on. Obviously, the schedule he kept was impossible to.
Well, he couldn't have done it by bus. He couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, you couldn't maintain that level. Didn't John Denver die in a plane crash too?
Probably did. Yeah. Yeah. And he actually sung the song "Leaving on a Jet Plane," didn't he? So how ironic is that? So there's a lot of them that died in plane crashes.
And in a very close time period. But of course, the reality is flying was, or commercial flying, or the general public commercially flying was a relatively new concept at the time. Anyway.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Do you know?
And some of them planes were like cracker boxes as well.
They still are. I've been on a few of them in my time. Really? Yeah. Bone shakers. Nah, no. If it's not big enough to make a bang when it lands, I don't want to be on it.
Exactly, yeah. Now listen, what would you vote then? Yes, it was unfair for them to keep the session going. No, business is business, or Elvis wouldn't have let anybody down anyway, so he would have gone on regardless. What do you think about it?
Elvis wouldn't have let anyone down. He'd have gone on regardless, which is exactly what he did, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they must have been rattled now when they got there. And he still managed to record that song that went on to, stratospheric success in comparison to what was going on around him.
Yeah.
So the words, I think he would never let them down. And I did once hear a story about much later on in his career that when, those late night sessions that went on a long time, or that he would be 6 hours late for. The reasoning behind that is the studio musicians got paid for the time they were there.
That's right.
Whether or not they were recording, and he was maintaining that they had a level of income. So they got paid for the hours he wasn't there and the hours they were working with them, so they got a better wage. I mean, is that not just the most selfless thing you could hear?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's Elvis through and through, I think.
Yeah. And we've been that's been proven time and time again.
Yeah.
So I'd have definitely gone with Elvis wouldn't have let him down.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay. Alrighty.
Thanks very much,
Thanks,
Steve.
Priscilla. Glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, no harm. And I hope NY does too.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody. Chat soon.
Cheers, Priscilla.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, just looking at some of those photographs, actually, you'd swear that he is actually almost going through what he's explaining to the guys that weren't on the flight what it was like, because I think, let me have a look now, one of these photographs that look like he's there, it looks like he's almost explaining. He has his hand up like that, and it's almost like he's explaining. Here we go. Let's have a look. There it is. What happened during the flight? Everybody's sort of gathered round. Elvis has his hand up like that, almost like he's saying we were floating down and down and down. Yeah. So I'm sure he told the story over and over quite a few times. Yeah. Right. This day in Elvis history. I like to do this because if this is a red letter day for you, if it's your birthday or an anniversary or just a special day, the 23rd of July down through the years, this is what Elvis was doing. It's not every year, but it's a selection of years. And in 1953, M.B. Parker Company, Elvis had a temporary job as an assembler. He worked there until the job ran out at the end of the month, making 90 cents an hour, or $36 a week. 90 cents an hour. And just imagine 3-4 years later what he was making. And yet in 1953 he was making 90 cents an hour. Wow. 1955, Elvis, Scotty, and Bill performed at the Big D Jamboree Sportatorium, Dallas, Texas. 1958, military service at Fort Hood in Texas, of course. Got a couple of shots. Presley, Elvis A. And then we have another one, Company D, 1st Battalion. That was on this date in 1958. Follow That Dream was 1961. 1963, the filming of Viva Las Vegas took place at the parking lot of the Sahara Hotel. 1964, he was working on Girl Happy. 1966, I have a picture here. Love Letters hit number 19 in the US, and also he was working on Double Trouble. 1967, Speedway. 69, Charo. 1970, That's the Way It Is production rehearsals for the upcoming shows in Las Vegas moved to the RCA studio on Sunset, where they worked from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Elvis ran through more than 60 songs with Ronnie Tutt, Glenn Harden, and David Briggs and the boys. 1971, Elvis did midnight and dinner shows at the Lake Tahoe. 1973, Elvis was in Stax studio. 2 more songs were completed from 11 to 3:30 a.m. That's 11 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. He did 10 takes of Raised on Rock. The take 10 was the master. And for old time's sake, take 8 was the master. And there's some great outtakes of For Old Time's Sake. In fact, I used actually part of an outtake of For Old Time's Sake as a jingle a while back, sometime last year, I think it was. 1974, Elvis remained in Memphis for the rest of the month. 1975, pictures. Elvis performed at the Civic Center, Asheville. And there's some really good photographs here now. Besides him having my probably least favorite suit, which is the gypsy or the totem pole suit, there's some really good shots here. So I can overlook the fact that he's probably wearing my least favorite jumpsuit. See what I mean? Great photographs, aren't they? That was at the Civic Center, Asheville. Yeah. Still hard for me to like that suit, though, I have to admit. But Elvis is in it, so. There's an action shot from probably the end of CC Rider. He looks amused by something. Leg up on the speaker. Probably chatting to the fans. And there's some of the album covers. Another look at Asheville. Southern Gypsy. Magic. Right. Okay. And then in 1976, Elvis performed at the Civic Center. No, he didn't. That was 75. Elvis performed at the Freedom Hall, Louisville, Kentucky, which was the first date of his 5th tour of the year. So, yeah. And 1977, Elvis at Graceland, mostly upstairs. So that was in this day in Elvis history. There's an audience photograph. You can sort of get the idea from the audience perspective what it was like. Not the clearest photograph, I know, but you get an idea. Back of people's heads mostly. Sit down, I can't see Elvis. Yeah. Don't forget, I do welcome ideas for new features. As Mark gave me on his phone call, he gave me an idea for what about songs that should have got to number 1 but didn't. Sacrilege, really, really. And yeah, this is how you find the community tab for looking out for the caption, this photo. Okay, that's how you do it. You just click on the community tab, and there it is. And it's the same for finding the live shows as well. If you want to catch up, if you miss the live shows, they're all there and you can watch them on catch up. And I also mentioned, didn't I, the playlists as well. The playlists is there as well. And you just touch playlists, and interviews with people from the Elvis world are there as well. They're all there for you should you need to view them. Yeah, why not? If you haven't seen them, please view them. And if you have seen them, maybe watch them again. Now, Photoshop. Yeah, we love Photoshops, don't we? We just love Elvis Photoshops. No, we don't. Because this one is from the 68 Burbank TV special. And straight away, there's just something not right. And this is the original. Okay, so there's the original. And then Elvis's head has been plastered on that one. And this is the head that's been used. But as you can see, it's the wrong way round. So what has been done is they've actually flipped it. And I'm not sure if I can do it to show you. I probably can, how it's done. Transform that and go flip. There you go. So that's how they did it. They flipped that photograph and then plastered that on top of that. And that's how it's done. That's how they do the Photoshop. So there's the original, and then there's the Photoshop one on the right. If you do come across a Photoshop and you want to send it in to me, you can. elvistheultimatefanchannel@gmail.com. Send me the original and send me the Photoshop, and we'll cover it in a future show. Oh my, why do people spoil those photographs? Linda, I completely agree with you. Why do people do that? Right. A YouTube channel I recommend. I want to do this next. And it is Ashley's Adventures. I know a lot of you will know Ashley Drew, and a lot of you probably subscribe and watch Ashley's wonderful, very, very good, intelligently put together, meticulously researched topics. And I just wish that this channel could be half Ashley's channel, half as good as Ashley's channel. And I'll put a link below to Ashley's Adventures. And if you're not familiar with it, have a wee peep. And Joe says, I love Ashley. Norset says, love Ashley. Love what Ashley does, says Hugh McKenna. Need I say more? People, if you haven't checked out Ashley's Adventures yet, I'll put the link and you can go and you can have a look at her channel, and you won't regret it. So that's a YouTube channel that I recommend. And if Ashley, if you're watching, well done. It's a great channel. Really, really great channel. Right, we're going to do a song I wish Elvis had recorded next, I think. Oh no, I tell you, we'll do the caption. We'll do the caption this photo. But before that, I'll remind you that you can still vote. Kirsty says Ashley knows her stuff. My goodness, she does. I'll remind you about the poll, and I'd like as many people as possible to vote on this so that we can get a good cross-section of opinion. Was it unfair of RCA to go ahead with the session after the band's flight scare to Nashville? This was the recording session for I Want You, I Need You, I Love You that I covered at the start of the show. And the options are, yes, it was unfair. No, business is business. So in other words, they should have made Elvis go in there because he'd signed a contract to do recordings for them. Or Elvis wouldn't have let people down anyway, so it doesn't matter whether it was unfair or business was business. Elvis was always going to go in there and try his best anyway. So I'll be interested to know what people vote on that. If you can't see that, by the way, that's at the top of the chat. You click on the blue banner and it drops down for you. So, and then vote on that. I'll be closing that soon, and I'll let you know what the result is. A song I wish Elvis had recorded. Suggested by April. Hello, April. I hope you're watching. It's a song by the Brazilian singer Maurice Albert, released in 1974 as a single, and he later included it as a title track of his 1975 debut album. The song's lyrics, recognizable by the "Whoa, whoa, whoa" chorus, concern the singer's inability to forget my feelings of love. Albert's original recording of the song was very successful, performed well internationally. In mid-1975, it peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the Adult Contemporary chart in the United States. If you haven't guessed by now, I'm sure you have, it's this one. It's Feelings. Now, Elvis did record a version of this song during the Jungle Room recording sessions at Graceland on February 7th, 1977. But the tape was erased. Maybe I should rename this feature Elvis Recordings I Wish RCA Hadn't Erased. Yeah. At the same session, the tape containing the session for America was erased and recorded over for the sessions for Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. The beginning and ending of America can be heard on the bootleg Welcome to the Jungle Room Way Down, and the ending can also be heard on Follow That Dreams The Jungle Room sessions, although it isn't listed on the cover. Elvis would sing some of the Platters songs such as Only You, Twilight Time and My Prayer between takes while recording in the Jungle Room. Cassette recordings of some of these performances are rumored to exist. Wow. Okay. Maybe one day. You never know. You never know. I can't understand what was going on there. You know, recording over the tape, the rehearsals of Feelings. Were they really hard up for tape? Was RCA hard up for a reel of tape that they had to erase them and record over them? I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, the link for Feelings is below if you're not familiar with it, but I'm pretty sure that most people watching this now are familiar with it. Maurice Albert's Feelings. And that's sent in by April. Thank you very much, April, for sending that in. A song I wish Elvis had recorded. And you can send your own A Song I Wish Elvis Had Recorded in to me on Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. And I'll look through them and maybe feature them in a new, in a coming up episode, live show. Right. Yes, I will do caption, which was on the community tab of this YouTube channel. And it is this delightful photograph of Elvis and Deborah Paget on the on location for Wild in the Country. He has a bit of a pucker on his lips. She's smiling at him. She's a beautiful girl. She really is. Beautiful young lady. And some of the captions were, "Now, Kathy, you know that Vance can't pucker up like this when he kisses you. That's the face I make when I smell fish cooking. Just do what I'm doing and meet me halfway. Don't make faces. Didn't your mum tell you you could get stuck like that?" That's obviously her talking to Elvis. But the winner with the most thumbs up, and I will give you a is Southern Girl, and her caption was, "What? You don't want to marry me, but everybody wants to marry me." So that's the winner, and we will give Southern Girl a round of applause for that. Well done, Southern Girl. And don't forget to look out for a new caption, this photo. I'll probably put it up on the community tab maybe Tuesday again. So what have we got? I've done caption this photo. I wish Elvis had recorded. I've done Photoshop. And of course, as I always do, I keep you waiting, don't I, for the smoking hot photo. I really do. What will I do? Will I close the poll first? I think I will. Keep you waiting for the smoking hot. Yes. Has everybody that wanted to vote voted? Was it unfair of RCA to go ahead with the session after the band's flight scare to Nashville? Yes, it was unfair. No business is business. Elvis wouldn't let people down. Okay, I don't see any more votes coming in, so I am going to have a look. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Not a surprise. Not a surprise. A huge amount of people have voted that Elvis wouldn't let anybody down. 67% actually. And yes, it was unfair. 24% of people. And only 8% said no, business is business, which is quite correct. And I would have been in the majority, 67%. Elvis wouldn't let people down, and he always would have given his best at all times. And I still think that Steve Scholes sort of thinking that was a failure was way off the mark, because the fact that Elvis could even do a half a take and another half take, and then those two be spliced together to make a 1.3 million selling single is pretty good in my book. Yeah. So Smoking Hot. Yes, here we are, Smoking Hot. Don't forget, please do give this a thumbs up if you're watching this on playback, because every thumbs up does help. And you, the viewer, did what I asked you to do last week. We broke the target of 300 likes. We were really close one week. It was 291 or 292 or something. And I thought if only 8 more people had given thumbs up, we would have broke the target of 300 likes. Because it does matter, because the more people that like a video, the more YouTube push it out. And it means that more people get to see the Elvis channels. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get as many people sort of turned on to Elvis and keeping his legacy alive. Smoking Hot. Keep this man's legacy alive, because this is what he looked like. What do you think of that, ladies? He's kind of looking at you as much as say, hi, doll. Want to mess around? So here we go. Elvis is a hunk of burning love. Wow, said Kathleen. Linda is just a thud. Jenny is a big red heart. Gorgeous and thud. He's looking at me, says Sandra P. So I picked that one out. I think that was just one that I came across on social media. I don't think anybody sent that one in to me, but you can send in your Smoking Hot photographs. If you've sent in a Smoking Hot photograph and I haven't featured it yet, it might be because I may have overlooked it. I might have filed it somewhere. So if you want to send your Smoking Hot photographs in again, by all means do. Juan says 1.3 million sales. My best effort as a recording artist is 2,500 sales. That's still very good, Juan. It's still very good. 1.3 million in 1956 was really a big feat, because they didn't have the marketing and the distribution that they have nowadays. And it's so much easier as well just to download and stream a song now. You actually had to physically go out. You had to save up your money first, then you had to go out and buy the single, because most of the people that were buying these singles were young teenage girls, and they had to save up their money first and then go out and buy the single. So 1.3 million is not shabby at all. Not shabby at all. So thanks so much for joining me and bearing with me as well, because I was late. So we'll do it all again. And if you do want to donate to the channel, you can buy me a coffee using the link below, or you can scan the QR code. It's very kind of you to support the channel. And till next week, tell me Al.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.